Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Football Betting Series here on YouTube, UEFA edition. We did pretty well with our picks in the Champions League, winning both of them. We've got our Europa League and Conference League bets still pending, as they are Leverkusen and Fiorentina to qualify. So at the time of recording, we're looking at an overall record of 8 wins, 4 losses, and 0 pushes, or about 67% win rate, for a total profit in UEFA competitions of £37 and 2 pence. Adding that to the overall record, and we're looking at 57 wins, 24 losses with 9 pushes, and a series profit of £358 and 47 pence. I've got a couple more picks in today's episode, so without further ado, let's get into it. We kick things off, as always, in the Champions League, and we're looking at Manchester City versus Real Madrid. The first leg was a heck of a game, with Man City taking the lead just after 2 minutes. There were 6 goals shared between the two sides and some real quality strikes in there as well. Whilst both sides only combined for an XG of 1.4, it seemed that every time a shot was taken, there was a pretty good chance it was finding the back of the net. For Manchester City, this draw means that their streak of 8 consecutive wins in this year's Champions League has come to an end, and we're set up quite nicely for a winner-takes-all tie at home at the Etihad. For the away side, Los Blancos, well, they preserve their unbeaten streak at home in Europe, and they're also yet to taste defeat in this year's edition of the Champions League. Based on the first leg performance and some historic data, I can't really see this tie slowing down at all, and I'm going for goals here. Manchester City have seen over 2.5 goals in all 9 of their Champions League games this season, with both teams scoring in 8 of these matches. Overall, there's an average of 4.34 goals scored in Man City's Champions League games this season. The away side, Madrid, well, they've seen at least 3 goals scored in 6 of their 9 Champions League games, for an average of 3.56 goals per game. When we look at the head-to-head record, 7 of the last 8 meetings between these two sides have seen over 2.5 goals scored. Both sides are still looking very good going forwards, but less reliable in the defensive third of the pitch. Additionally, both sides are probably going to be set up to use their backup goalkeepers in Ortega and Lunyan, so I'm fancying that the overall attacking quality of players like Haaland, Vinicius, Rodrigo, and Foden can beat these second-string goalkeepers. Over 2.5 goals in the first bet of today's episode. Our second selection in the Champions League sees Barcelona hosting PSG, and in a game which was devoid of defending in the first leg, PSG and Barcelona combined for 33 shots and an overall XG of 3.18 goals. Both sides exceeded their XG numbers by scoring 5 goals between them, with Barcelona taking a 3-2 win away from home back to the Nou Camp to really set us up well for the second leg. Barcelona have all but resigned themselves to not winning La Liga this season, so all of the focus for Xavi Hernandez and the rest of the squad must go into winning the Champions League if they're to have any hope of lifting a trophy this season. The away side PSG, they are in a similarly negative spot as well, all but resigned to the fate of losing their star talisman Kylian Mbappe to Real Madrid in the summer, and this might just be the last chance to win the Champions League for a little while. Both sides seem top-heavy in my opinion, with the likes of Lewandowski and Rafinha, and Mbappe and Dembele are cut above their counterparts in terms of Kabassi, Barallo, Hernandez and Araujo. I can't really see either side keeping a clean sheet in this one. For the home side, Barcelona, both teams have scored in 6 of their 9 Champions League games this season, and this includes each of the last 5 games in a row. For the away side PSG, their number also stands at 6 in their last 9 Champions League games. The 3 exceptions to this stat were the 3 home games in the group stage. Away from home, PSG have failed to keep a clean sheet in their last 4 Champions League games this season and their last 17 in a row. In fact, their last clean sheet away from home in Europe was in Turkey against Başakşehir in the 2020-2021 group stage. Head-to-head, both teams have scored in the last 4 meetings, as well as 9 in the last 11 meetings since 2013. I think both teams to score is the bet here, and I'm going to be backing it with a full stake. Over on Thursday nights, I don't have any new bets for this week, but I've got an update on our 2 to qualify bets. Starting off in the Europa League, Bayer Leverkusen hosted West Ham, and it looked for the longest time that David Moyes had found a way to keep the German side out. Unfortunately, West Ham did concede goals in the 88th and 91st minute, which means Leverkusen brought a 2-goal lead into the second leg. And although we've not cashed this bet yet, it does look like a winner. Elsewhere in the Conference League, we backed Fiorentina to qualify against Victoria Pilsen, and the first leg finished 0-0. Statistically, it wasn't the most impressive of games, Although a lot of people would have liked Fiorentina about even money away from home, they simply didn't create enough in the final third, and Victoria Pilsen held strong, maintaining their good defensive record in the Conference League. The second leg is in Italy, and I do think Fiorentina will best their Czech opposition. If not in the 90 minutes, they also have extra time and penalties with this bet, which is the main advantage of a qualifying bet. So no new bets on Thursday night, but just a quick update for those two as we head on to the recap. So there we have it, 4 selections in today's episode, 2 new and 2 old. Starting off on the Wednesday night, Man City play host to Real Madrid. We're taking over 2.5 goals, odds of 1.65, a £30 stake to return 19.50. Also in the Champions League on the Tuesday, Barcelona versus PSG. Both teams to score, odds of 1.44, £30 stake to return 13.30. Also on the Thursday night, we have our Leverkusen and Fiorentina to qualify bets still live and ready to go. So across this week, we're going to be staking £120 to hopefully pick up as much as £53.43. Will we do so? There's only one way to find out, and that's to tune into the next episode. But if you have made it to this point in the video, please drop a like down below and subscribe to the channel for more content. And as always, have yourself a lovely day.